chimpanzees are considered to be the smartest animals on the planet, even smarter than dolphins and arguably even us humans. But why are they so smart? Hi, and welcome to Paleologic. I'm your host. Chimpanzees are considered to be the smartest animals on the planet, even smarter than dolphins, and arguably even us humans. In fact, they have been observed using sticks to fish for termites, crafting spears to hunt bush babies, and using rocks as tools. This is especially impressive considering that chimpanzees don't possess the dexterity of a human hand. Their hands look more like ours, but their grasping ability is closer to that of an ape. Nonetheless, they've found ways to manipulate objects in remarkable ways. They use sticks to extract termites from a termite mound, carefully probing until they find the right spot to plunge their stick into the heart of the colony. Then, instead of eating the termites immediately, they sometimes store them in a cheek pouch for later, bringing them back to the nest to share with other chimpanzees. In some regions, chimps fashion spears by stripping the leaves off of branches, fashioning a sharp point at one end and using it to jab at termite mounds or to spear bush babies. In other areas, they'll strip the bark off of twigs, exposing the soft inner leaves, and use these as fishhooks, attaching a small piece of meat as bait to the end. Then, when they go to a river, they'll take a leaf, hook it into a fish, and pull it out of the water. There are also reports of chimps using stones as hammers, anvils, and grinders. They place a nut or a seed on a rock and use another rock to crack it open. And in a similar manner, they can sharpen a stone to create a scraper to remove the skin from their food. How do they learn to do all these things? Well, like most animals, chimpanzees learn a lot of their behavior through observation. When young, they will watch adult chimpanzees performing various tasks and then they will attempt to imitate them. However, no matter how good their imitation skills are, there still needs to be some kind of motivation behind it. After all, you don't learn a new language just by hearing it. You need some kind of incentive to get up and speak. It's the same way with chimps. They don't just perform these behaviors because they see other chimps doing them. They do it because it gets them something they want. In the case of the fishhook, a chimp will use it to procure fish, which is food. In the case of the spear, a chimp will use it to catch bush babies, also food. And in the case of the hammer, well, a nut or seed is encased inside of a shell, but what's inside is worth the effort to crack it open. But this still doesn't explain why they're smarter than other animals. After all, a crow can use a stick to extract a worm from the ground, and a sea otter will use a rock to crack open a clam. Intelligence is relative to an animal's environment. And for chimps, their environment is full of goodies that are often tucked away in places that are hard to reach. Nuts, seeds and fruits are often hidden inside of tough shells or deep within a termite mound or inaccessible without climbing. Bush babies and monkeys are often hidden high up in the trees or darting around the forest floor. Fish are tucked away in rivers and lakes. All of these foods require some kind of manipulation to access. And because the chimpanzee's habitat is so full of these kinds of challenges, natural selection has favored chimps that are smarter. Those who could use a stick or a stone to help them get food were more successful, meaning they lived longer, healthier lives and had more babies, passing on their intelligence to the next generation. And while humans may think we are smarter than chimps because we build skyscrapers and go to the moon, we have to remember that intelligence is relative. Yes, we're better at abstract thinking than chimps, but they're better at using their hands than we are. And if you were to put a dolphin in our position and us in theirs, chances are we would quickly become the dumb species on the block. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for coming along on this journey through time. I'll see you next time on Paleologic.